Welcome to another edition of Eric's Product Reviews, brought to you by hollywoodfrodo.com. I am Eric, and today I'm going to be talking to you about this guy. This is the Riversong Wave HR Fitness Tracker. A very affordable, I would say inexpensive fitness tracker that has a feature set that is on par with fitness trackers that cost 3 times as much. This is a very cool fitness tracker that has a lot of really awesome features, more features than a lot of trackers that cost more than this one. Price range, this is around the $35 range, and it comes in various colors. This is just the color that I chose, but it does come in other colors, and it has all the features that you would want in a fitness tracker, and then a bunch of extra ones you might not even expect. So to really show you how this works and demonstrate all the different things it does, we need to get a close-up on here, and also you need to see the app, because the app that's associated with it is also a big part of the whole package. So let's jump over, and I'm going to show you the actual product in working and show you how it works and all the cool things that it does. So here is my wrist, and you see if I flick my wrist like I'm looking for the time, then the time shows up. But you can also get that if you just want to see the time. If you want to actually open it up and go through things, there's a little button here on the side, and you press that button to toggle through heart rate, steps, miles, calories burned, and then back to your oh, that's alarm if you have an alarm set, and then back to time. And it gives you time, it gives you battery status, the date, as well as a Bluetooth status if you have if you're connected to your phone through Bluetooth. And this does use Bluetooth low energy, so it doesn't use much energy at all, and doesn't really affect the battery life on your phone, which is awesome. So anyway, about those features, obviously you've got the time and the date there, and then you go to heart rate, and you'll see it has heart rate, and the heart rate sensors are underneath here on the bottom, and I'll show you those. And so the heart rate, I measured this against my Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, which will take your heart rate, also against my Gear S2, which takes your heart rate, and I found it to be fairly accurate. It's probably accurate within about a 5, I'd say about 5 beats setting, but fairly accurate. And you'll want to leave it running, as you see it is right now, because it does range. Again, it's not the most sophisticated equipment, so it's not going to give you an exact reading, but it's fairly, I would say, fairly accurate. As far as steps go, again, I compared this to other devices. I don't think any device, I don't care if it's a Fitbit or who it is, nobody's perfect with the steps. Steps are always going to be approximate and are meant to more be used as a comparison between one day and the next, or, you know, so you can say, oh, I got this 20% more steps today than yesterday, or 50% less. It's not going to measure your exact steps, no device is. But it is fairly accurate. It's not exactly the same as using 3 different devices. Every device had a different step range, but they were all within the realm of each other. But like I said, I think when you're measuring steps, it's more or less about comparing steps, and it seems to do a pretty accurate job of that. Doing well. Also used it when I walked a path that I walked my dog, and the mileage seemed to be actually very, I don't know exactly how many miles it is, but based on my approximation, I would say the miles do a pretty good job. It did a pretty good job of figuring that out. And of course, that's all based on you wearing it on your arm, and also the information you enter on the app. And then you have your calories burned. Again, that's approximate, and again is also based on the information you enter about yourself on the app. And then if you have set an alarm, then that'll show on there, which is cool. This will just vibrate a little bit to help wake you up in the morning if you set that alarm. And then you go back to the main screen. Now this does have an additional mode. If you long press the button, then you go into, I don't know, you could call that race mode, but basically it puts it into the mode so that it will time you and continually track your heart rate. And so I'm going to I'm going to open it, I'm going to double tap really fast, and you can see it's starting to time me, and it'll check heart rate ever so often while it's doing that. And then you can also go into, it'll track steps separately from your total steps, which is kind of cool if you want to know how many steps you're doing for a particular exercise that you're doing. And then also, again, miles, it tracks separately from your total miles and calories burned. So that's really cool. If you're doing a specific thing, you're going to go run a mile or 2 miles or walk a specific length, and you want to just see, aside from your total steps, calories, etc. for the day, just what you're getting on that, then you can get that here. So that's really, really cool. And then when you're ready to stop that, you just long press it, and you get out of that mode. It stops it. So that's a cool bonus feature that a lot of fitness trackers don't have. Now, one thing I do wish is I wish you could adjust for the screen to stay on a little bit longer. They have it time out. It makes sense. They want it to time out so that you're not wasting lots of battery. It being on, it doesn't need to be on. But as you can see, it times out pretty quickly. But I mean, you do have plenty of time to look and get the information you need. The heart rate doesn't time out because it's continually taking your heart rate. But on anything else, you know, it stays on for long enough for you to read the information, and then it times out, which is plenty of time for that. But I do wish you could adjust that. I would like to make it about 4 or 5 seconds longer. So what I want to do now is I also want to show you a couple of cool features with the text messaging. You can set this up so that it receives text messages. So I'm going to send myself a text message, and you're going to see I have it set up to do that. So this is kind of an advanced feature because a lot of...
Eric, Google Voice has sent you a message.
That's my phone you just heard. And now you can see on here, see Google Voice. So it vibrated and then it has the message. Now it still times out, so you have to open it back up if you want to see the message. It actually has the message on there, which is pretty awesome, that it contains not just a notification to let you know the message, that you got a message and who it's from, but also has the message. And then when you want it to go away, you just tap it again and it goes back to phone. So that's cool. So you can use this as a way to get your messages, but it also can notify you if you have a Facebook Messenger message or a WhatsApp message, and you'll see that in the app. But I thought that was a cool feature as well. Also, one thing I didn't show you, besides the button on the side, you have a touch button here, and you can use that touch button to toggle through things as well. I don't use that as much because I kind of like the physical button, but that touch button is right there, and as you can see, it works to toggle through stuff. Also, as you saw before, when it times out, if you want to know the time, you flick your wrist up. And I wore this will track your sleep, and I wore this when I was sleeping, and was confused because, you know, when I would do that while I was sleeping, it would come on. I was like, that's crazy. I don't want it to do that while I'm sleeping. It's bright. You can turn that off. So it's great. You can turn that off in the app so that it doesn't do that while you're sleeping. So let's jump over to the app so you can see all the cool features that you can set up in the app. So this is the app that goes with the Wave HR, and this is the VeryFit 2.0 app. Very cool app, very polished app, actually. I was expecting it to be kind of a cheap looking app, but no, this is a very highly polished app. It looks great, it works great, has really cool features built into it. You can see you've got your step count here. You tap that, you get into your details to see detailed information, see miles and calories, and then if you swipe over, you go to sleep, so you can see your sleep patterns. Let's see, I didn't do sleep today, so let's go here. There we go. And then you can see how much sleep you got. You can see deep sleep, light sleep, and awake hours. I would say it does a fairly good job, accurate job of capturing that as much as any other fitness. Like I said about all these fitness things, they're all approximate, and quality of sleep is approximate, but it does a pretty good job. One thing it does not have, you do not have the ability to edit your sleep start or end time. So this automatically detects when you're going to sleep, but let's suppose it got it wrong. Maybe it started you 30 minutes early because you were sitting in bed reading, you weren't actually in bed, or maybe it started you 30 minutes late because you went to bed but you were kind of restless for the first 30 minutes. You can't adjust that. It detects the time automatically and doesn't give you a chance to change it yourself. But other than that, it does a really good job. I would say as accurate as any of the other fitness trackers that I've used for sleep tracking, and works pretty well. So it helps you kind of determine the amount of sleep you're getting. Now let's go back to the go back to the steps, and actually let's go, if you go to details, you can see you've got week, month, year, so you can kind of keep up. And like I said, most of these things, it's not about how many steps you took, it's about how many steps you took today compared to yesterday compared to the day before. That's really what these fitness trackers are good for, is comparing over time. And this has this cool graph that allows you to see week to week, month to month, year to over the whole year how you've done. And so that's really awesome. Now what's great is this device screen is where you have all these different settings. So you can have this fitness tracker vibrate when you get a phone call to let you know you have a phone call. You can set sedentary alerts, so after you've been non-active for a certain amount of time, it'll buzz and say, hey, just kind of give you a nudge, hey, you need to get moving. You can set alarms, and if you set the alarm, then at that time that you have the alarm set for, it will vibrate to help wake you up. You have the SMS alert, which you saw demonstrated. You have the SNS alert, and let's take a look at that. That's where you can have all of these apps. Now these apps won't give you the full message, and as you saw on the screen, the little tiny screen that's on this, you wouldn't want to do that anyway. It just lets you know you have an alert. So that's really cool. And I'm using it with Messenger, and when I get a Messenger message, Facebook Messenger, I get a little buzz, and I look at the fitness tracker, and it tells me, hey, you have a Facebook Facebook Messenger message if you haven't gotten it yet. So that's kind of cool. Camera, you can open this up and it'll open up your camera and allow you to trigger taking a picture from the fitness tracker, which is kind of cool. Wrist sense, that's what controls the flip of the wrist, turning the screen on. It works great, and then you can turn it off when you go to bed at night so that it doesn't come on while you're monitoring your sleep, which is cool. The anti-lost alert, what that does is anytime you walk away from your phone and the Bluetooth disconnects from your phone, your fitness tracker will buzz to let you know, so it helps you make sure you never leave your phone anywhere. And that works great. And then find phone, and so when you click this, that sends a signal to your phone to make your phone make a sound so that you can find your phone if you can't find it. So a lot of really cool, all the sort of high-end features you would expect on a high-end device in this very cool low-cost device. And then user is where you set up all your information, your targets, as well as your info like your height and your weight and your sex and those sort of things, which are what it uses to control how it monitors your steps and your calories burnt and things like that. I have not tried the Google Fit integration, just so you know. It does have that, but I tried Google Fit a while ago and found it severely lacking. So I don't use Google Fit, and therefore I did not try the Google Fit integration, but it does have that in here if you wanted to try that for yourself. So anyway, that's it. It does have other little things, like you can share the screen if you want to post it to your Facebook page or something like that. You can do that with almost any of these screens that are on here. And just very, very cool. Very cool app, very cool product. Going back really quick to the watch, just overall, I just want to show you the fit. Now, of course, it does come in different colors. It comes in about 5 or 6 different colors. Orange happens to be my favorite color, which is why I chose orange. The clasp is this kind of clasp. It just clasps into the 2 holes and goes through the loop. Now, I reviewed this product separately. If you want to check it out, this is by the Friendly Swede, and this is a strap that I think is a must for any of these type of bands, because you put that on there and now you know that this isn't coming off. It solidifies the band, and these are like for $5 or so you get like 10 or 12 different colors. So you can check out my reviews to find my review of those if you're interested in those. Or I'll put a link in the description below for that as well. I highly recommend you do get these little bands if you're going to use one of these. But it's very comfortable, very soft silicone, fits very well on your wrist, works really well, really impressed with the overall quality. So as you can probably tell, I was very impressed with this product. The battery life seems to be really good. You seem to get about a week out of it without needing to charge it. It charges very easily via the charger that is included in the box. You just snap the charger over the bottom. You don't have to worry about guessing with lining it up, because of the way it snaps in place, and then you know it's in the right place to give it the charge. Charges in several hours and then lasts for about, like I said, about a week, depending on how much you use it, how much you have the display on. All the features seem to work great for me. As I mentioned in the beginning, as far as accuracy at steps and things like that, I don't think any fitness tracker is 100% accurate because there's a million different shapes and sizes of people out there, but it does its best approximate, and I found this to be pretty accurate in terms of comparing it to other fitness trackers, and especially for doing what you really want to do with these, which is over time for comparison, works really well. It's comfortable on your arm, it's very small, very lightweight, but as you can see, it packs a powerful punch with all the different features it has and the ways that you can use it, and all of that for around $35. So really priced amazingly well. The packaging that it comes in, I did want to just kind of show you that really quick because the packaging, I was impressed. With an inexpensive product, you're sort of expecting that generic packaging, but this came packaged very much like my Galaxy S7-inch phone came packaged. Really sleek, solid black packaging with sort of metallic foil lettering on it. Really nice. So from the very moment I opened the package, I felt like I was getting a quality product, and it did not disappoint. Really high quality product, loved the way it worked. Anyway, it is available on Amazon, of course, and I'll have a link in the description below. You can click that link, jump over to Amazon, and check it out for yourself. Like I said, it comes in a bunch of different colors, so you can pick the color out that works best for you. And I'll also include a link in the description to these little bands from the Friendly Swede, which I recommend you get because they just help secure a fitness band on your arm. Make sure you don't accidentally pull this out and it fall off your arm. Anyway, that's it for this review. If you like this review, please click that like button. If you have any questions I didn't answer, please feel free to drop them in the description below, and I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as I can. Check out my channel. I have all kinds of product reviews, household products, appliances, gadgets, dog products, lots of electronics and things like that. So check those out. If you have an Android phone, check out my Android app review playlist to find out about some of the coolest apps to make your phone work better. Anyway, that is going to be it until next time, so have a great day.